Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boisterous coming to you with yet another game from this clan war. It's between, of course, DarkOnyx and Samurai Faith, as I'm sure you have all noticed. And the score is currently 4 for DarkOnyx versus just a measly 2 for Samurai Faith. And this is only a best of 9. So if Praetorian, spawning up here in the top right-hand corner as the representative for DarkOnyx, can pull this game off, he'll be good. And down here in the bottom left-hand corner, Balls of Steel, you know, just trying to steal up his team's balls. He's trying to get ready. He's like prepping, he's bunkering down. He's getting all of his like Zergy pieces in motion. He spent the entire last game sitting right at the edge of the war table, being like, how can I defeat this mighty opponent? And you know, now he's gonna give it to him. He was like moving armies with sticks. And Praetorian, you were wrong. You were pretty wrong. I'm pretty sure he was actually going for a fast expand up until the point where you had 2 gateways outside of his base, and I only say that because he went up to like 15 probes without any tech or without any buildings dropped. It usually means fast expand. I guess it could mean a really late gateway, but honestly, really late gateways in PvP are retarded. Never do them. Ever. Ever. So anyway, we do have our Zergy player dropping his spawning pool. Praetorian is sitting dutifully out by the natural, being completely prepared to block that off with a pylon, as he should be. I mean, it's always a good idea to get that pylon down right when you need to, because, you know, that's really the best time to get a pylon down. It's always nice to have pylons. And we do have Praetorian going for a Forge Fast Expand, a definite departure from what he, on average, does, at least from what we've seen so far out of Praetorian. He usually cheeses a lot, like a lot. I mean, he's cheesed every game he's been in so far. So cheese is definitely, I would say, the norm of Praetorian. He's predisposed. See, he's the first 2 letters today. That was funny. But yeah, we do have the Nexus coming down. The Queen and a couple Zerglings are popping up. The hatchery did go up without too many issues, as Praetorian did flee back across the map. I'm guessing he didn't have enough minerals to drop the pylon? That's really the only thing I can think of that would cause him to not drop the pylon and not really mess with his opponent. We do have the probe kind of coming back, being a little bit sneaky. However, it's going to run headlong into Zerg dogs. And those Zerg dogs don't like to be messed with. He did just see the drone moving out to drop that hatchery, so he should know that it's going to be like a 3-base Zerg play, which has actually become quite common. That's really only if he was paying attention to that drone moving across the map. Back at home base for our Protoss player, he is building that gateway. The Nexus is expanding. And honestly, the expansion from a Zerg player isn't going to be that far behind, and the third is going to be far faster than our Protoss players, primarily because, honestly, Protoss players don't go for thirds most of the time. They go for thirds sometimes, I would say. But, yeah, this is definitely going to be a faster third than his opponents. Praetorian, however, is dropping that Cyber Core. He's going for some level of tech. You know, the Cybernetics core is typically a good idea. We see the Zerglings already being annoying, already chomping down on those destructible rocks. Those rocks that never fall away until you just hit them enough. I would love if there was a unit that literally just like swung sticks, and like you just gotta like see this guy swing a stick at the exact same rock formation for like 4 minutes, and then eventually he was like, and he looked up and like the entire rock thing just tumbled. Like literally the moss fell apart and the rocks just dissipated. And he was like, sweet, let's go. Come on, new attack path open. I hate how the moss crumbles. Like the rocks should slowly get chipped away. Just like every hit, just like chip, 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 and eventually they're gone. Now this Zealot is going to come in and, you know, defend his home rocks, because of course you never want those rocks going down. But he is going to find that there's Zerglings, and those Zerglings do not want to die to his Cyblades today. Never mind, maybe they did. Maybe all 3 of them wanted to die to his Cyblades today. That Zealot is successfully, he has successfully sated the thirst of his Cyblades, and he's truly down for a feast tonight. That's really all I can guess. We have the queens stockpiling a bit of energy, not the cleanest injects, but honestly, this is kind of like a mid-level clan where I wouldn't really expect the cleanest of injects, and I really wouldn't push on anybody to get them. We do have the +1 attack coming out from Praetorian, so I would not be astounded to see some sort of timing attack, especially with his Twilight Council. I would absolutely not be surprised to see Charge come out along with his +1, and then just go for this timing attack where Zerglings don't live. Oh, he's actually going for Blink. Alright, he's going to be going for Blink Stalker. But honestly, I think people underestimate that timing with Charge and +1, because Zerglings don't live through that. They don't. It's just, it doesn't happen like that. Zerglings die every time. Every time and every day. It's kind of insane. It's a little bit sad. Tugs a bit on the heartstrings, but you know, that's a completely different issue. Anyway, this Zergling is kind of at the third base. It's chilling a little bit, chillaxing. He hasn't yet gotten his Red Bull to crack open and just slurp right into. And you know, he's waiting on it. It's almost here. The care package is almost there. It's gonna be full of Red Bull. He's gonna grow his wings. He's gonna fly all over the place. We also have roaches on the way, and honestly, 3-base roach pushes are really scary from almost any player ever. Ever since DRG made it famous, it's like every Zerg player knows exactly how to do that build, where you just get up to like 60, 70, 80 drones, and then you build roaches and win. That literally, if you look at that build, that is what the build is. That's how you do it. It's a 3-step program. It's like drones, roaches, profit. There's not even any question mark steps. It's kind of insane how Zerg players have gotten it down to a T so fast. And we have creep spread reasonable, not great. Now, of course, a lot of Zerg players, actually an astounding amount of Zerg players, don't spread creep in PvZ. I don't know why, like, because the queen buff didn't favor them nearly as much in PvZ. It was way more of a TvZ change, and like in TvZ now you just go for like that crazy 4 queen builds, and then you just mass creep tumors everywhere. You just toss them all over the place, like in random places that they don't need to be in at all, and it just works. But anyway, we have Praetorian's army coming down. This is the big timing attack army. It's going to be Blink Stalkers and Sentries, and that is against roaches. That's a pretty scary army. That's a pretty good army, to be quite perfectly honest. The big question is it going to be a good enough army to carry Praetorian into this fight against Balls of Steel? He does have his +2 attack, and that's going to be huge in this next engagement, considering the fact that our Zerg player has no upgrades. Now, of course, our Zerg player is being forced to move a lot, and he's coming in, and oh god, he's just getting absolutely crushed as far as cost effectiveness goes. These Blink Stalkers are doing exactly what they need to do. They need to survive with very low health. All the sentries are getting sniped, but honestly, that doesn't matter at this point. The force fields are spent, and he got all of the force fields he needed. He got all of those money force fields. He now has a gigantic force if you compare it to our Zerg's force, and he should be able to just smash through this. But the Zerg production is actually quite ridiculous at this stage in the game. As long as you manage to not miss any of your injects throughout even this stage of the game, your production is going to way outpace the Protosses. However, honestly, the issue is that these Protoss units are so highly upgraded, along with pretty good Blink Mecca. Not the best in the world by any means, but not bad. He's not like failing every opportunity he has, which is of course quite key. And he is going to be sniping down that queen, and oh, there's the aggressive blink in. Might have been a bit too early, especially considering the fact that there was the second spine crawler. And there the first spine crawler goes down, all of the roaches are dying. Oh, so many roaches. Just absolute carnage of roaches. And a lot of Protoss units are going down, but honestly, so long as he gets this third base, it was worth it. That is what makes it worth it. We have a lot of Zerglings on the way, but I don't know, this is kind of an awkward spot. And there the spine crawler is burrowing, but it should not be burrowing. It should be crapping its pants currently. With this Zerg army, or with this Protoss army getting shoved down Balls of Steel's his third base passageway. He was just getting absolutely wrecked. His army is still, it's considerable. It's by no means weak. However, it's not nearly as strong as his Protoss force, and that's really what he needs. He needs that strength of units, and he's not going to get that until that +2 finishes. And that +2 finish is not going to happen until, you know, basically this game is over, I would predict at this point. This is a lot of Zealots, and this is a lot of Stalkers, and they all have the blink upgrade, and they're all absolutely cleaning it up. There's no spine callers, there's no more mobile defense. The drones are coming in to fight, but I just don't think it's going to be enough, because drones get absolutely torn apart by everything ever. He actually got a pretty good positioning here, if you really think about it, and the Protoss player's on the run. But, you know, the Zerg player's contained at this point. Where is he going to go? You know, he can't attack the Protoss player. The Protoss player absolutely wreck that. It wouldn't even be funny. He can't really even step a foot closer to the Protoss base without getting absolutely encircled. He needs these deeply entrenched forces, and honestly, the Protoss player can just warp up into his main and blink up into his main and be perfectly fine. And I think we're going to see that power in the near future. We already kind of see it with these blinks forward and backwards and just sniping off these little tiny spine crawlers that are a bit too far forward. And honestly, they're not even a bit too far forward, they're just a bit too unprotected, and our Zerg player can no longer handle this type of pressure. I don't know how much longer he plans to try to hold this on for. It looks over. And I know I call stuff early a lot. However, honestly, I think Praetorian is going to win this 5-2 for DarkOnyx. I don't see how this could have gone any worse. And just by the way, I'd like to point out, there have been no pings this game. So whoever the ping guy is, somebody vanquished him like the dragon, like a dragon. And that's really what I want. I wanted a sword shoved down that guy's face until he was dead. Because he was like a scumbag of the earth. He did not deserve to watch great StarCraft. That's what I believe. That's the truth. And we have Praetorian. So again, it's like kind of nasty engagements with these Stalkers, but overall he's shown that he can go for reasonable, that he can actually go for solid pushes, and his micro doesn't suck. Plus, I love the use of this War Prism as just a mobile battle line. I mean, everywhere. Balls of Steel does call the GG. I see what he did there. Who's playing for you? Nobody's silly. Praetorian didn't get it. Well, that was fun account. Actually, this is like a platinum level player. You know, that was a pretty good game. Granted, it's like high platinum, but that's still Platinum League. You know, Platinum League is where you get to that point where you can start microing and your macro is successful. Anyway, guys, if you want any other games I've commentated, you can head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Plus, if you want your games commentated, you can send them on in to boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And congratulations to DarkOnyx. You won 5-0. One second, let me switch up my title so that it reflects that fact. Bam! There we go. Yeah! Congratulations. Alright, anyway, guys, this is Boisterous, signing out.